The movie The Interview is being pulled from theaters by Sony. And so many people are talking about this and what it means about freedom of expression and what it means for I guess, the pop culture world. And joining me right now, the executive editor of The Hollywood Reporter, Matt Belloni, joining me here on The Rich Eisen Show. Matt, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So, Matt, what to make of all this? Why was the movie pulled in your estimation? Because we're hearing it was the theater operators, and we're also hearing it was obviously the studio. What do you make of this, Matt?
Well, this hack has been going on for about a month, but the key moment was 3 days ago when there was a direct threat made by these hackers to the theaters that were going to show the film. There was a 9/11 reference and saying that, people who go to see this movie will be subjecting themselves to a possible terrorist threat. Once that happened, the theater owners, one by one, started saying, you know what, we're not going to show this film. And ultimately, the studio, Sony, was forced to pull it.
Well, I mean, and you read on Twitter, I was following you on Twitter, and then many people were chiming in about this, Newt Gingrich being one of them, saying that don't make any mistake of this was a cyber war, America's first ever cyber war, and America lost. So who I guess, lost this cyber war for us, to use that phraseology, Matt?
The Obama administration has said the indications are that this hack originated from or was aided by North Korea. And North Korea, Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, is the subject of the interview. It's about an assassination plot to kill him. So essentially what they're saying is that the leader of a foreign country was able to essentially prevent the distribution of a movie that he didn't like. And the implications from that will touch on every aspect of the American media. And anyone who works in any area of that, including you, me, people in Hollywood, people in the sports world, everyone should care about that.
Matt Belloni of The Hollywood Reporter joining us right now here on The Rich Eisen Show. So how will it, I guess metastasize might be the best word for it. How will this affect American media and pop culture moving forward, in your mind?
I think it will have a significant effect. We saw yesterday a Steve Carell movie that isn't even scheduled to be released for 2 years, and it's about has a North Korea plot line. That movie was abruptly canceled. I think every studio is now afraid to have any kind of North Korea-related plot. And the question is, who's next? China, Iran? I mean, what country that has an adversarial relationship with the U.S. is going to be able to exert influence and get the media to stop doing what it does?
So how could this have been avoided, do you think? Outside of obviously not greenlighting this in the first place, which Sony did, and Seth Rogen famously, it was widely reported at the premiere of it, basically saying, giving Amy Pascal of Sony kudos, is only, I guess, safe for work way of putting it, for making the movie. What could have been done? Just adding extra security in movie theaters for the distributors? Where do you think could have the answer been?
Well, there are several, ways during the storyline that things could have changed. I mean, they could have fictionalized the person in the film to make it not Kim Jong-un. Who knows if that would have impacted things. But again, that's telling an artist, Seth Rogen, that he should change his work to appease an international leader. Maybe they could have gone ahead with the release if there was extra security. But these theaters, they were on alert that there was going to be a threat. If something had happened, if they had shown the film and something had happened, this would have been on them. There would have been potential liability for them. So it was an easy call for them. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what could have been done in this situation other than to just stand up to this threat and say, you know what, you can threaten us all you want, but we're going to go ahead with this release. And I think these theaters were scared of that.
Matt Belloni, the executive editor of The Hollywood Reporter, joining me now on The Rich Eisen Show. And there were so many different celebrities on Twitter who tweeted about this. Rob Lowe, who's been on this show, did it. Ben Stiller, Damon Wayans. There was one also by Mitt Romney suggesting about what to do now, as in putting perhaps the movie out online and then charging for it and then donating the money towards the fight of Ebola. Is that something that could possibly be done? What about moving forward here with this film to try and combat, I guess, a lot of the fallout that has occurred?
Yeah, a lot of people speculated that there would be a VOD, video on demand release of the film, but Sony yesterday said that they have no plans for any distribution of the film, meaning VOD, online, international, DVD, any distribution of the film. And I think there are a couple things that work there. I think some of the potential partners like Netflix or other VOD companies that might have shown the film probably were a little bit squeamish about touching this. And there's another issue at work. I think maybe the insurance for the film, they have an easier claim to get back some of the money they put into the film if they completely scrap the release. But I would not be surprised if somewhere along the line this movie leaks online, either probably illegally, but either illegally or legally, and people start trading that online.
Matt, thanks for calling in. Hopefully, under better circumstances, we can knock on your door and talk about the industry of the city that this show is that lives in. My show down in El Segundo, and would love to have you down in the studio, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.